Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to day one of competition at the Ulaanbaatar Grand-Prix. We're looking forward to bringing you all the action from what promises to be a slightly unusual event, but nevertheless one with a degree of quality. There's not a big field, but I think there are going to be some interesting contests here to watch, and we've got 5 weight categories to bring to you on this opening day. 3 women's weight categories, 48, 52 and 57. 2 men's weight categories, 60 and 66. We're going to take a look at the top 4 seeds in each of those weight categories, and we'll start with the under 48 kilo category. The number 1 seed is Mungpat Urantsetseg, the Mongolian. She'll face a former teammate who has moved to Kazakhstan, Otgansetseg Galbadrak, who now fights for Kazakhstan. The number 3 seed is Jiang Yahong of China. There is no number 4 seed because she had to pull out. So Marina Gunter of Russia gets a bye into round 2. In the under 52 kilo category, the number 1 seed is Uchio Mako of Japan. The number 2 seed is Azaya Chintogdog of Mongolia. The number 3 seed, Batsuya Altansek of Mongolia. And the number 4 seed, Kwon A. Rim of South Korea. In the under 57 kilo category, Kim Min-ju is the number 1 seed, the Korean number 1 there. And the number 2, and a welcome return to Ishikawa Megumi of Japan. We haven't seen her for a while. The number 3 seed is Andrea Leshki of Slovenia. And the number 4 seed is Laktantogu Erkilin of Mongolia. In the under 60 kilo category, number 1 seed is Dashtava Amatufshin of Mongolia. Unlucky not to be going to the games. They're sending Sendochir instead. The number 2 is Ganbatar Batorga. The number 3 is Davud Mamadzoy of Azerbaijan, and his teammate Rasim Almamov is the number 4 seed. That's in the under 60 kilo category. In the under 66 kilo category, Dovdon Altansuk, the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is Andras Yereb. Number 3 is Adia Batsuri of Mongolia. And the number 4 seed is Vugar Shirinli of Azerbaijan. Okay, we've got a minute or so before we get underway. And despite the fact that the numbers aren't that great, and it's understandable given the close proximity to the Olympic Games, and the fact that there appears to be another competition going on in Asia somewhere, and we'll look into that at some stage. They may have drained the numbers a little bit, but we've got obviously a full complement of fighters from Mongolia, 28 men and 28 women. The Japanese team have sent 7 women, and I think they're going to cause some real problems. We know the depth of the Japanese already, and they've sent 7 women here, so look out for them to take medals in the women's category. China have sent a good strong team, 8 men and 9 women, and I think the women are going to be particularly strong. Russia have sent 7 men and 5 women, and the Koreans 2 men and 4 women. So I think that's where the competition for the Mongolians is going to come from. As far as the mats are concerned, we're going to start on mat number 2 in the under 48 kilo category. Enkhamlan Orantsetig of Mongolia faces Morizaki Yuri of Japan. It'll be Enkmalan in the white and Morizaki in blue. I spoke to Mark Pickering, the IJF media manager, this morning. I said about Morizaki, he rather thinks that it will be a final between Mungpat and Galbadrak. It's difficult to tell him otherwise. I think it's a good pick, but just something about Morizaki that I think might come up trumps. We shall see. This is the opening contest in the under 48 kilo category. Hamgalan picked up that single Shido. Two Shidos against Hamgalan, as she finds it a little bit difficult going against the Japanese. Just outgripped her momentarily there, and then Morizaki had to cover up in Newaza. Two really high-class fighters in this weight category, Munkbat and Galbadrak. Morizaki's going to... Well, she's in the same half as Munkbat, who's the number 1 seed, and... I beg your pardon, she's in the same half as Galbadrak, and the winner of this contest will face Galbadrak. Just the penalties at the moment. Nice little Kojigari, almost bringing Morizaki down. She looks a little bit tight. Slightly nervous, and then she comes back with her own Kojigari that has a similar effect, just bringing her opponent down onto her front. Got rolled there. Now it's her turn to come up with the roll and the Osaikomi. Yeah, beautifully done. Really nicely done that was. Just needs to trap that right leg. I hope to keep Hamgalan pinned. Nice finish, but she wouldn't get away with that with either Galbadrak or Munkbat. So managed to recover, having almost been caught, Morizaki, but got out of it in the end. So, Morizaki Yuria of Japan winning out there.
That's at the 2. First round for men under 60 kilograms. Please welcome in white for Mongolia, Nansaka Sego. And in the blue for China,
Right, who we got coming up next then? It is Nasanjargal Seod of Mongolia. Will face Ba Yin Menghe of China. Yeah. Nasanjargal in the white judogi and Ba in blue. It's the opening contest in the under 60 kilo category. looking to go over on that right side with a little Maki Komi, who wasn't the strongest of grips, and almost as soon as he launched it, he had to cover up, realizing that it wasn't going to threaten Nasan Jagol. Sorry about that, we're back on this side of the tatami. Nasan Jagol and Ba still battling away. No scorers yet, 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. Nice attack there on the left hand side, left tire Toshi from Nasan Jagol, just bringing Ba down onto his front. He picks up a penalty there for passivity. Quite a number of the Chinese team, by the way, and just out of interest, are from Inner Mongolia. I popped into the warm-up room with them this morning. Second penalty picked up by Ba now. I asked a couple of the fighters from China this morning where they came from. They said Ho Hot. Still threatening on that left hand side. I think Ba's in danger of picking up another penalty here. He's quite a bit off the pace as he struggles with Nasan Jagol's combative approach to this contest. He's got him over in that corner again, and just as well that they stepped off. Again, that little left turn, Toshi threatening from Nasan Jagol. Minute and a half left to go. Well, it was coming, wasn't it? A third penalty picked up by Ba.
Tatami 1, next contest is first round contest for women under 57 kg. In white for Russia, Sofia Chistanova. In blue for Mongolia,
He really needs a score here, this bar. And eventually wore him down. We're almost into the last 30-odd seconds, but when that left arm went around the collar, he was able to come up with a nice Koshi Garuma and threw bar for Ippon. That's Nasan Jago into round 2.
In white for Croatia, Chinggis. And in blue for People's Republic of China,
Stadium announcer coming up with a nice call there. It's not my turn yet, so I won't get involved in that as yet. I'll just put in here Nasan Jago was the winner of the last contest. Before that brings me to my turn for the under 52 kilo category. It was Tina Sikic of Croatia up against Su Ragugaciga. That's the one. I sat down with her and went through her name a couple of times this morning. Ragugaciga. Gonna take a while, that one. You can watch, she's going to be all the way to the final. I have to keep coming back to that one. Quite a few, new fighters for us to look at here, in particular because, as I just mentioned, the Chinese have sent their team from, pretty close by. We've got the autonomous region of Inner Mongolia, and Uhod it's not a million miles away from here, so why not send them? Single Shido picked up by Su. Sikic in the white judogi, Su in blue.
Правую сразу встречай руку. Даешь брать верхний захват. Первый встречай правую руку.
Work there by Sikic as she wrapped up Su with Sangaku Gatami for Ippon. So Sikic goes into the quarterfinal with that win.
First round for men under 66 kg, Tatami 2. In white for Kazakhstan, Ashbat Telmanov. In blue for Mongolia, Chinggis Altanara.
Right, in the under 66 kilo category, I think we're going to take a look at that one. Let's get that sheet up, make sure we know what we're doing here. So 66 kilos. Right, Ashka Talmanov of Kazakhstan is in the white judogi, and he faces Renchindoj Altanran of Mongolia. Talmanov in the white judogi, Renchindoj in blue. We've already got the quarterfinals in the under 48 kilo category starting down on mat number 1, so we're going to move there because we want to take a look at the first of the quarterfinals. Mukbat Urantsetseg of Mongolia. She faces Bieshinali Kizi of Kyrgyzstan. And it's Mukbat who's working away there quickly through the Kyrgyz fighter for Wazari quickly, and then came up with the Jujigatami. So neat work from Mukbat Urantsetseg. So we'll work our way through the quarterfinals then on mat number 1.
Mongolia will be the semi-final for the women under 48 kilograms. Tatami 1, the next quarterfinal for women under 48 kilograms. In white for Russia, Marina Günther, and in blue for Mongolia, Maksarjan Dolgojov.
Right, coming up next then, Marina Günther of Russia. She's up against Maksarjan Dolgojov of Mongolia. Günther in the white judogi, Maksarjan in blue. Thought about the Ojigari there. Went over the back and stopped things for a while, or at least slowed things up.
Марин, плотную не ходи с ним. Не надо плотную. Иди в партере сама поактивнее. Раскрывай, разогнать тебе надо. Через отворот левой рукой пойдет твоя стрелка. До конца! Бежать!
Maksarjan having to defend her arm now. Not the best position for Günther to attack from, and it looks as though she's got that well and truly blocked.
Хорошо, Юка, оценили. Собрано, грамотно на захватах. Первым номером все равно работать.
21 years old, the Russian.
Раскрывай левой рукой.
Her first real big run out here. Leads by Yuko.
Левый отворот и вперед. Раскрывай вниз колен. До конца тура. В партере собрана работа. Первая в захвате.
Got to go now with that attack. Oh, she's hooked the leg in. Oh, nice counter. That'll be Rosari. Well, give an hip on, but I'm entirely convinced about her being flat on her back. That Rosari would have been a better score. So it's proved. Well, you win some, you lose some. It's on the wrong side for him. If you look at the landing, where she lands, it's away from the referee, and it's facing us, so we can see the back. He can't. He ended up giving. He gave Ippon, and then he's ended up with Nico. I know that was the scoreboard at the time. So Wazari to Magsajav. Oh, this is a better look. Yes, this looks better. Oh, lost it. Why she didn't continue with the shimmy was, I don't know. Probably didn't feel strong there, but it looked good. Magsajav was in a bit of trouble there and managed to get out of it. So, 38 seconds left to go. Günther has dodged one bullet by getting away with throw having been called Ippon, and it was downgraded to Wazari. That's a poor effort there at this stage of the game. Got to come up with something better than that. Maybe she was looking to engage Magsajav in Newaza again, where she'd threatened her on 2 occasions, but there isn't sufficient time, and the risk has backfired here because the 38 seconds that were on the clock have gone now, and the Newaza opportunities, either Osaiwaza or Shimiwaza, have both gone. 6 seconds left to go. Magsajav is going to take this one. She came up with the bigger techniques anyway, and a nice outing for Marina Günther to come and compete internationally for Russia, but it's Magsajav Dolgojav who takes this one. She'll be in the semi-final. She'll face the extremely difficult task of coming up against Munkbat Urentsetsig, the number 1 seed here, the favourite for the tournament. So an All-Mongolia first semi-final. Let's find out what happens in the next quarter-final, but the next quarter-final we'll have to wait for a bit because that will be down on mat number 2. We're going to look at the first of the quarterfinals in the under 60 kilo category, and it's an all-Mongolia affair. Dashtava Amatuvzhin faces Dagva George Bayamagnai. It's Dashtava in the white judogi, Dagva George in blue. It's like Mongolia National Championships at the moment, yeah? It's a shame that they haven't been done sufficient, given sufficient respect. There should have been more international fighters here to threaten the Mongolians, because they did have a clean sweep last year in the under 60 kilo category. All 4 medals in the under 60 kilo category last year went to Mongolia, and well, they may not be as strong in the 60s this year. I think Sendoche, Dashtava for sure, and Ganbat Bolbatar were in there last year. Suvagaishi effort from Dashtava, that doesn't come off. And I can't remember who the 4th one is offhand, but they were all up there last year, and I suspect we may get a repeat. What have we got in the 60s this year then for the Mongolians? Well, we're looking at Davdoj and Dagvadoj. Yeah, lurking around. Dashtava, the number 1 seed. Ganbata Batolga, he's the number 2 seed. Nasan Jagul down in the lower half of the draw. And we're going to see, I think that might be it. Oh, there's another Mongolian up in, Dashtava, Dagvadoj, Ganbatar, and Nasan Jagul. I'd be surprised if they make it onto the podium. I think Albert Mongush, a Russian, he might have something to say about that. He's a reasonable fighter. He put up a good show. He's up next against Rasim Al-Mamov. Al-Mamadov of Azerbaijan. Someone's going out there. Or at least down into the repechage. No scorers yet. Dagvadoj picked up a single Judo.
The time to first round for women under 57 kg. In white for Russia, Alyona Nefedova. In blue for Mongolia, Chinggis Huan.
Two penalties picked up by Dagvadoj. He's put up a good show here. You know, given that this is one of the top fighters in the world here, Dashtava. Looking at the Sutemi Waza. Dagvadoj picks up a third penalty. Again, back to the Sutemi Waza. He's just playing with the referee here, Dashtava. He's throwing in Sutemi Waza after Sutemi Waza, and now Dagvadoj thinks, well, I'll have a go at that as well. If that's a valid attack, I'll throw one in myself. Who's going to come up with the next Sutemi Waza then? Dashtava shaping for it now, but Dagvadoj, there you go, little Sumigaishi off to the left. Oh, that'll be it then. I think they've seen enough. Wasn't a bad little battle. He picked up a few penalties, but let it go. Let him have another cycle. Yep. Just as well. Minute to go. Dashtava not able to come up with a score. He was frustrated by his teammate Dagvadoj, who just kept busy enough. You see, he's just throwing those in at the right time to unsettle Dagvadoj. One more. Little Ojigari there. Dagvadoj has got to attack here. Something bigger than that as well. Ojigari. Again, the Sutemi Waza. Single score would do it for Dagvadoj, yeah? Come up with a Yuko and sneak this. Half a minute left to go. Ooh, almost with the Serenagi Kojigari combination there. Didn't sell him. Yeah, and a false attack now. Whoa, bit of pressure at the end. He didn't give him the strong Serenagi. to get the reaction when he came up for the koji. There's a little slap there. Nah. What a shame. Well, that was a really good effort. Dagvadoj can be proud of that. Good showing. And took him right to the end. Bit of a handshake at the end from Dashtava. It's easy when you're a winner, isn't it? Hold your hand out and Dashtava into the semi-final. Okay. Right, well, we're going to find out who his opponent will be, because we've got Rasim Almamadov of Azerbaijan. He faces Albert Mongush of Russia. Almamadov in the white judogi and Mongush in blue. One of these, in fact actually both of them, Mongush and Almamadov, may be called upon to break this possible quartet of Mongolians in the under 60 kilo category. Mongolia could do back-to-back quartet wins. Never seen that before. Well, we'll keep an eye on what happens in this quarter-final, but there's another quarter-final about to begin on mat number 2, and that is Otgontsetse Galbardrak of Kazakhstan. She faces Morizaki Yurie of Japan. So let's go to mat number 2. We'll take a look at that contest in its entirety. Galbardrak, just coming into your shot on the left-hand side of your screen there, faces Morizaki. Galbardrak in white, Morizaki in blue. Be a disaster here if Galbardrak loses. Definitely won't want to be losing out on what in reality is home soil. She can really do something for Kazakhstan in the forthcoming Olympic Games. One of the favourites, Galbardrak. Little Tomoyanagi effort. Morizaki had a little bit to do with spinning out of that, but she's under a good deal of pressure here. Yeah, problems in Newaza for Morizaki. Just managed to get rid of that left leg. It was wrapping up the shoulder. Looks comfortable, doesn't she, Galbardrak? Again, the little Tomoyanagi to get Morizaki involved in Newaza. She's perfectly happy to work on the ground there. Had to go on the arm, but Morizaki was up to defending that. Minute and a half gone No score yet. Finely balanced contest. We haven't seen any real threat from Morizaki yet. Again, the Tomoenage. Tomoenage into Jujigatami. That's been Galbadrak's thought process so far. Wrap the left arm around the waist. It fancied a big hip technique. Referee called Mate and has given Morizaki a penalty for passivity now. Needs to step it up in this last, we're in the second half of the contest now. Morizaki just losing, well, just the advantages with Galbadrak. First time that she's threatened with that low left ippon seonagi. She was in and underneath Galbadrak there. Can't get the left hand on, that's frustrating. It's the left side stance that's causing Morizaki some problems. She wants to come across on that right side. But Galbadrak is only showing her the left, so a little bit tricky. Well, you're going to have to find some way through Galbadrak's defence. Almost caught this. It's a long way for Morizaki to go. She can't straighten Galbadrak up. The angle is awkward for Morizaki and she hasn't been able to work out a way past it. It's really the right side that Galbadrak is hiding, and it's Morizaki's left hand that needs to take control of that area. Almost counted there. Single Shido, that's all it is, but I haven't been able to work it out. Oh, almost. If there's any control there from Morizaki. Galbadrak is going to take this one.
The Tamil won, the winner in blue for Russia, Albert Mongush. Albert Mongush will be in the semi-final for men under 60 kilograms. The Tamil won the next quarterfinal for women under 52 kilograms. In white for Japan, Uchio Mako.
So a single Shido against Morizaki. Galbadrak contest, and we'll see Galbadrak in the second of the semi-finals in the under 48 kilo category. Her opponent will be the winner of the upcoming contest. That's between Tiang Yahong of China. She faces Batme Kolu of Mongolia. It'll be Tiang in the white judogi. And Batme of Mongolia in blue. unusual. Very rarely you see the fighter having to tidy up the judogi in that fashion. Put the right over left. Where's the left over right? Oh. There's another quarter-final on mat number 1. I think we may go over to have a look at that, because that's the number 1 seed, Uchio Mako of Japan. Yeah, let's go over to mat number 1, take a look at Uchio Mako. She's up against He Xiumei of China, and it's Uchio who's in control of this one. She's just finishing off her opponent with that Kezugatami. That gives us a chance then to go back to mat number 2. Have a look at Jiang and Batamia in the under 48 kilo category.
The Tatami 1, the winner in white for Japan, Uchio Mako. Uchio Mako will be in the semi-final for women under 52 kg. Tatami 1 next for the final for women under 52 kg.
침착하게.
Seeing single judo picked up by Batamia. A little over 2 minutes left on the clock.
좋아, 에리마. 오른쪽이야. 이 손 뺏기지 말고 먼저 올라가면 돼, 지금같이.
Quarter-final for men under 66 kg, the Tatami 1. Please welcome in white for Mongolia, Judo Grand-Prix. And in blue for Russia, Untitled Chapter.
But they're well balanced here in this quarter-final. We've got another quarter-final in the under 66 kilo category. Dovdon Altonsuk. Let's have a look and see where he's seeded. He's the number 1 seed. We'll sneak over there to have a look and see what's happening with Dovdon Altonsuk. Why not? This is in the under 66 kilo category. He's up against Palya Galyan of Russia. Dovdan in the white judogi, Galyan in blue. No score as yet, both fighters have picked up a single shooter. Galyan has had the Bushido taken away, so it's just Dovdan now with Bushido against him.
The time to the winner in blue for Mongolia, Batamir Formal. Batamir Formal will win the semi-final for women under 48 kilograms. Quarter-final for men under 60 kilograms, the time two. Please welcome in white for Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar Batuga. And in blue for Russia, Maxim Bundashov.
Still the single Shido against Dovdan. We've got half the contest to come. And Galyan now picks up a penalty.
Берешь захват, он стоять будет. Лизать тебя будет.
Ацгүй. Ойлгож байгаа. Цаанаас чинь ингэгээд штеп. Ингэгээд заяа. Тэгэхээр шалтгаан гаргаж болохгүй. Нэг хүмүүсийн яваад байгаа. Адилхан байгаад уунаас орохгүй шүү. Наач одоо их мууцсан шүү. Их мууцсан шүү. Наач муудчаад хамраа ортой.
We're just waiting for Galyan to have that little bit of just a knock he took to the lip and the nose. So whilst they're tidying that up, we're going to go down to mat number 2. We'll be back to have a look and see what's happening with them. But Ulaanbaatar Batulga of Mongolia is up against Maxim Bernashev of Russia in the quarterfinal in the under 60 kilo category. It's Ulaanbaatar who leads by Yuko with a little under 3.5 minutes left to go. As soon as they've tidied up, Galyan will be back on mat 1. Nice movement from Ulaanbaatar, putting Banashev under some pressure there. Meanwhile, on mat number 1, Galoyan looks as though he's been tidied up. In that case, we can wander back down there as Ulaanbaatar gets a second score now. Increases his lead with 2 minutes and 20 odd left to go. Let's go back to join the contest between Dovdan Altansuk of Mongolia and Palyak Galoyan of Russia. There's no scorers yet. Both fighters have picked up a penalty apiece. And we've got a little under 2 minutes left to go. Galoyan isn't going to score there. He didn't have his hands on Dovdan. No chance of him giving up a score there. Thought about a Makikomi there, Galoyan, and it's not really a 60 kilo fighter throw, but it's the shape that he came up with. Meanwhile, down on mat number 2, Ulaanbaatar is giving Banashev a real working over there. 4 scores on the board, and there's still a minute left to go. Komi from Dovdan. Yeah, as long as he keeps the legs free, he'll finish this one off now. Yeah. Dovdan Altansuk of Mongolia makes his way into the first of the semi-finals, beating out Palyak Galoyan of Russia. So Dovdan of Mongolia into the first of the semi-finals. We're going to go back down to mat number 2 because we had a little look at Ulaanbaatar Batolga. See that he's had 4 scores on the board. Ulaanbaatar Batolga leads against Maxim Banashev of Russia with 10 seconds left to go. Ulaanbaatar into the semi-final of the under 60 kilo category.
Ulaanbaatar for Mongolia will be in the semi-final for men under 60 kilograms.
The number 2 seed as well. So
The next final
good progress for him.
60 kilograms, the number 2. In white for Azerbaijan, Davut Mamatsoy. In blue for Mongolia, Nasanjagal Serot.
Well, we're going to see the contest now between Davud Mamadzoy of Azerbaijan. He's up against Nasanjagal Seod of Mongolia. Mamad Asoy in the white judogi and Nasanjagal in blue. Well, Nasanjagal on fire here as he throws Mamad Asoy for Ippon. Beautifully done. Within the first 30 seconds. Nasanjagal. Well, we knew that they were going to be a handful in the under 60 kilo category. He just stepped over him, didn't he? Almost climbed on his back there. Well, you call it Marotti Seragi if you like. Oh, beautifully. Nasanjagal. Right, Chinggis Asaya of Mongolia faces Jibek Sabobekova of Kyrgyzstan. It's Chinggis in the white judogi and Sabobekova in blue.
İstiyorsan kolunu verme de ona sapalıysa. Sağ kolunu verme. Babamlaymış ya. Birinci yatır. O kolu bırakma, o kolu bırakma bu da. O kolu bırakma. O da yok. Bunlar orada nece yıkılmak olar? Hemen başını saldılar. Artırmak lazımdı. Bak dedi.
I think there's a delay here whilst they decide whether Sapabekova's hair grip is legal or illegal. And I think she's got something in her hair that she shouldn't have, so they had to give her something else to tie her hair up with. I think that was it. I'll ask the referee afterwards. I think that was the case. Anyway, we're back underway. Nicely done. Uzari low left Seotoshi from Chinggis. That's the lead for the Mongolian. Beautifully done, really was nice. Couldn't get off that. Chinggis of Mongolia winning out there over Sapobekova.
Mongolia will be in the semi-final for men under 66 kilograms. The Tatami 1 next quarterfinal for women under 57 kilograms. Please welcome in white for Korea, Kim Min-ju, and in blue for Russia, Sofia Chistanova. Tatami 2, the winner in white for Mongolia, Chinggis Azaya. She will be in the semi-final for women under 52 kilograms. Next quarterfinal for women under 52 kilograms, Tatami 2.
We're going to stay here for the quarterfinal on mat number 2. Batsuk Altansetseg against Tina Sikic of Croatia. It's Batsuk in the white judogi and Sikic in blue. The winner of this will face Chinggis Azaya of Mongolia. Sikic managing to come up with that Kansetsu waza there. He looked good today, Tina Sikic. And against the Chinese this morning. See what she beat this morning. Sikic up against Chinggis in the second of the semi-finals. Right, here's an interesting one then in the under 66 kilo category. Andras Jereb of Slovenia he faces Ashkat Telmanov of Kazakhstan. It's Jereb in the white judogi, Telmanov in blue. Two quality fighters here. Should make for a good contest.
몸을 자꾸 움직이고 공격적으로 해야지 왜 서가 있어 같이 짧게 해야지. 시간 없잖아. 모두 걸기. 짧게 계속. 야! 잘 잡고 제대로 가.
Salmanov is the fighter who's picked up that single Shido. He's picked up a second.
Tatami 1, the winner in white for Korea, Chinggis will be in the semi-final for women under 57 kilograms.
Nikoladan Erdoğan'ın cinde Sarantas Mokosin Perçin Halkomin Ikrini Kurtadas Kurden Kurtadas Mandava.
Well, he was just looking to avoid that strong grip there from Salmanov. Was Yereb. Gets away with a minute and a half left to go. Little under a minute left to go then. 2 penalties against Salmanov. Salmanov has fallen into that Osaikomi. The Tatish Yogatami from Yereb is going to be enough here. Looks nice and strong, doesn't it? Legs are in and trapped. Salmanov not going anywhere.
Tatami 2, the winner in white for Slovenia, Andras Jere will be in the semi-final for men under 66 kilograms. The next quarter-final for men under 66 kilograms, Tatami 2. In white for Mongolia, Adia Batsuri. And in blue for Russia, Dmitry Karpukhin.
Right, coming up next to the quarter-finals in the under 66 kilo category. Adia Batsuri of Mongolia faces Dmitry Karpukhin of Russia. It's Adia in the white judogi and Karpukhin in blue. The winner of this contest will face Andras Yereb of Slovenia. We just saw him winning out against Ashkat Telmanov. That was a good win. Strong fighter, the Kazakh, but Andras Yereb coming out on top. Possible that this and the quarterfinals in the under 57 kilo category, the the last that we've got to bring in. There's a quarter-final on mat number 1 at the moment in the under 57 kilo category. That's the second, because Kim Min-ju defeated Sofia Chistanova of Russia in the first one. She threw her with Zari with 3 seconds left on the board in that contest. Chistanova was leading by Wazari, but she picked up 3 penalties. Chistanova had a Yuko and then threw her for Wazari, so Chistanova on the brink of a semi-final place, lost out. So whomsoever wins this one, whomsoever wins the contest on mat number 1. It's going to be the Mongolian. We just had a chair go up in the arena. Klag Vatogu. No, that's not right. Klag Vatogu of Mongolia. That's just 1 out over Man Dariwa of China.
The champion 1, we start the representative contest for women under 48 kg. In white for Kyrgyzstan, Begay Beyshina Levizi, and in blue for Russia, Marina Gyuter.
2 penalties picked up by Karpukin of Russia. Gives the advantage to Adia Batsuri at the moment.
The champion 1, the winner in blue for Russia, Marina Gyuter. Marina Gyuter qualifies for bronze medal for women under 48 kg. The champion 1, the first semi-final for women under 48 kg.
Yeah, looking as though he's in the driving seat with this one, which gives us an opportunity to go down to mat number 1 to take a look at the first of the semi-finals in the under 48 kilo category. It's Mukbat Urantsetseg of Mongolia. She faces Magsajav Dolgajav in the first of the semi-finals in the under 48 kilo category. Mukbat in white, Magsajav in blue, and we've only seen the one fight from Mukbat this morning, but she didn't look in any mood to hang about. She finished it off pretty quickly, and here she is in the first of the semi-finals. Just in time as the action gets going, we're going to hear from Neil Adams. So a very good afternoon to you, Neil.
Yes, good afternoon, Sheldon.
I was saying it's an odd one because we can look at the numbers and we can look at the levels and we say, it's not going to happen here, but yet we've seen some really nice judo already this morning.
It's been some great judo. I was just watching from the sidelines and actually just talking to them about a lot of their junior squad in here. So it's interesting that one or two of the ones that have qualified for the Olympics opted to do it.
Yeah.
So they're not being forced to do it, but they wanted to do it for extra matches, and but mostly it's just to give the juniors a run out. And as all of these countries that have got the home advantage, they're able to do that, aren't they? They're able to put their top 4 out if they've got that much depth in each of the weight category.
I like the look of the under 48 kilo category, and I'll come back to the point about that we've got one or two top players here. We could, in theory, be looking at the Olympic final between Munkbat Uramsetseg and Otgansetseg Galbadrak, who moved from Mongolia to Kazakhstan, because they're both in the top 4 in the world. So you could be looking at the Olympic final right here.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
30 odd days away from the games themselves.
Well, it'd be interesting just to find out from Galbadrak. I can understand Munkbat having to do it or opting to do it on home ground, but why Galbadrak was here and why she wants to do it.
Yeah, the only reason I can think of is a little bit, like bravado. I'm going to come back and, show you or give you a bit of smacking, and come back and beat you in your own house. But this is really good for Munkbat because she's looking sharp.
Wow, she made
hungry.
That look so easy, didn't she? A beautiful move into the Jujigatami, and it really nice newaza from her. Always we see good progressive newaza from standing down to ground, and she really did make that look easy there against one of the juniors there. Maksariev just not really. I don't think she even believed that she was going to get past Munkbat there. Just Munkbat just did a job, didn't she? So she's through to the final and hardly broken sweat.
We may yet see Magsajav on the podium if she goes down into the repechage final now. So she wins that, bronze medal match. So we might see who we've got coming up next. There's a repechage contest there, but we haven't seen Ishikawa Megumi of Japan. It's nice to see her back on the mat. So let's go down to mat number 2. We're going to have a look at the quarterfinal in the under 57 kilo category. Ishikawa Megumi of Japan in white. She's just finishing off Purevsurin. I really feel sorry for Ishikawa. I've just been reminded of her incredible expertise in newaza, and the fact that what really let her down is she didn't have any tachiwaza. When I say she didn't have any,
not at the same level.
Exactly. It was not the level that would carry her through when things leveled out,
It's one of the biggest advantages that we have judo is that we can train 50-50 for the newaza and tachiwaza, and it's very important to bring your game up, and I had to do it from a newaza point of view. Certainly in the early days I had to bring it up to the same level as my tachiwaza, and I paid the price of one of the competitions. It kind of spurred me on, so hopefully it will spur her on to do that.
It's a little bit late for her now, and she's in a weight category 57 where she is arguably number 6 in Japan. Yet if they had a newaza only competition, she
probably
might be number 3 or 2. She'd go up a few places.
Sure.
And globally, I don't think I've ever seen her beaten on the ground by anybody apart from another. I don't ever think I've seen her beaten on the ground. It's just that her tachiwaza does. Her tachiwaza does let her down. Right, Andrea Leški of Slovenia is up against Serengabata Hulmeg of Mongolia. That's a quarter-final in the under 57 kilo category. There's a repechage contest going on down on mat number 1. Dagvador. We'll give that a miss, actually. We'll do the women a favour and we'll watch the quarter-final, because one of these could make it to the final and end up as a winner, whereas the fellas down in the repechage, with the greatest of respect, they may not even make it to the podium. Having said that, that contest is now finished, and Dashdavar Amatuvshin of Mongolia is coming on to mat number 1. He's the number 1 seed. This is a semi-final, so one of these is going to be in the final. So we'll do them the favour and go down to mat number 1. It'll be Dashdavar in the white judo gi, Mongush in blue. My money is on the Mongolian.
Yeah, Dashdavar, like you said, on good form and in front of this home crowd, and expecting a lot more people to come as well. We see them walking up as well from the city, quite a few, but a lot more expected for the evening session as well. Straight away there, Tomonagi into the Jujigatami from Dashdavar, which is quite a vogue technique at the moment, quite a few doing it. Of course, the Yoko Tomonagi is often used just to throw a technique in, but a lot of them just disappearing or just latching onto the arm, should I say.
Yeah, Dashdavar used that throughout in his contest with Dagvador. Must have thrown it in there about 10 or 12 times. And it really frustrated his teammate. He wasn't able to settle at all, and every time it looked as though he was about to come up with an attack, Dashdavar threw in that little Sutemi-waza. And then, as you say, he follows it up with that threat on the arm. It's difficult.
Well, it's quite a few doing it, isn't there? In the ladies as well. All of the Mongolians, every one of them doing it.
Followed from Munkbat. It's a favourite of hers. I think she had a flying Jujigatami at one time.
Well, it'd be interesting just to go to some of their trainings, just to have a look at, see how they do their transition stuff, because I think that the training of the transition just as important. A lot of the training camps, of course, it's Tachiwaza and Newaza. They haven't split because of the numbers, the amount of numbers that they have there. But I always feel that they should split the numbers, because we need to train the transition down from standing down to ground. It's very important that we do that as part of the training.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Well, I mean, it's such a big part, isn't it, now? And especially with the rules. The rules are changing. The referees, if it's progressive Newaza, they let it carry on. And that's what it's all about, So we have to train for that as well. It has to be part of the randori.
There was a good one last week in the Budapest Grand-Prix. I don't know if you remember it. One of the British girls, Lucy Renshaw, was defending against an attempted shimiwaza. And the referee let it go, and I could hear a few shouts from the crowd, mate. A couple of seconds later, she was waking up.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Because she stood up at one stage, or attempted to stand up. But the shimiwaza brought her back down.
You've got to get them clear of the ground now.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a good thing. It makes,
me too.
It means that if it is progressive, they allow the groundwork, and we can develop then the groundwork for the fighters, but also teach the coaches to put it as part of the training.
But I think your point about the way that they divide things up, with regard to, we're going to have one group doing, Tachiwaza, and then they come back and do, Newaza. Whereas if they divided the groups up and said, right, we know these groups are big, so we'll have the group that comes here doing both, and then you do both in the afternoon, but it's a different group, halve them that way.
Well, exactly.
As far as numbers are concerned.
Like I say, it seems crazy to me, anyway, just splitting it, because our sport is 50-50, Newaza and stand-up.
Yeah. So that method of training, in a way, is false. You're restricted to training in only one aspect, whereas there is a combination of the two. there is a flow from one to the other.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's almost like having two different sports and training for two different disciplines. Yeah. And yet the disciplines, our disciplines, are together. And that's the point.
Yeah, so it's actually somebody must have worked that out, and yet we don't see that in the training camps.
No, and I'm a big believer that it has to be introduced into the training camps. Any training camps that I've ever done, that I've actually run, always have it. Point. Yeah, so it's very important for the longevity of our sport and the development of it. So just two Shidos in this match, this semi-final here. Dashdavar just ahead, Mongosh of Russia, 2 Shidos down.
Yeah, it's close. Dashdavar had, as I say, a tough one against Dagvadorj, and I thought that was because he knew him so well. It's a similar look. It's a similar looking contest here, and he's really fit, Dashdavar.
Yeah, he keeps going for the Sumigashi, doesn't he? Yoko Tomonagi, but it's all about breaking balance. They've got to break the balance. I think he's going to get a Shido here.
Yeah. Force attack. He just gave him a little tap on the foot. It was a nice strong grip from Mongosh. He thought, I'm going to take one here.
Yeah, well, he can't afford another one, otherwise it equals it all up. We go into golden score. Have we seen any golden scores today?
No, I haven't. Mongosh is going to lose this one. He couldn't come up with a good strong attack. And nice arms there from Dashdavar. Just closed him down, and the reason that Mongosh didn't come up with any attack in that last 8-10 seconds is that every time he even shaped to go somewhere, there was a little bit of a block there. You could hardly see it, but just nothing coming.
Well, we kind of expected, didn't we, a rush of the Mongolians coming through to the finals and things today, but nice to see some youngsters as well coming through.
What have we got coming up then? Coming up next. It's a repechage contest coming up next, and there's another repechage contest taking place down on mat number 2. It's just a question of which one we're going to have a look at. And I think we've got the semi-final in the under 52 kilo category, Uchiyo Mako and Baljin Yembat Erdene on mat 1, but the one that we want to look at is in the under 48 kilo category. Odgonsetik Galbadrak, she'll face Batemir Kolu of Mongolia. So why don't we go down and take a look at what's happening with Morizaki Yuria of Japan. She faces Jiang Yahong of China, and just as we join it, Morizaki gets on the board with Yuko. She had a little bit of a tough one this morning.
Yeah, she did, and just lost, didn't she? But fighting well now. I mean, a lot of these we haven't seen before. We had a young Japanese team out last week in Budapest, but such is their depth, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they can put these different teams out. I'd like to know the strategies behind some of it, some of their selections.
Yeah, Morizaki, her opening contest was against Galbadrak. Yeah, bad luck. Your opening contest against someone who's going to the games, and you are, Japan's number 4 or 5 in your weight category. That's a tough one.
Yeah, well, not only is she going to the games, though, like you said, it could be the final, couldn't it? Monkbat against Galbadrak. So Galbadrak, interesting, isn't it? Since she decided to represent Kazakhstan, that she had no points on the board whatsoever. Within 12 months, she'd qualified the place. And
it justifies the move completely.
Yeah, and also she'd beaten Monkbat twice, who she'd decided that she wasn't going to get ahead of. Only one representative at the Olympic Games per weight category, so...
The odd thing is that if I'd been the Mongolian coach, or if I'd been part of the selection group, it would have been an extremely difficult choice to make, but I believe that I would have gone with Monkbat. That being...
We did talk about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Actually? We have discussed this before.
That being the case, what option did Galbadrak really have? If the most important thing to her was to go to the games, then her only option, if she was going to be second place to Munkbat, was to change nationalities or change categories. And she's not a 52 kilo player.
No.
You know, she's a 48.
No, I think it was a good decision.
Yeah.
And talking to some of the Mongolians about it, obviously you see the reaction she gets. I mean, they're cheering her as if she's part of the. Yeah, they do. They absolutely do.
Morizaki wins out there. 2 penalties picked up by Jiang of China. Just the one picked up by Morizaki. She's had a tough time of it today. Even in that win, she got taken the distance. And now we've been talking about Galbadrak, and here she is.
Well, she's got a lot of fight, hasn't she, Galbadrak? She really just non-stop action from her. And interestingly, when she fights Munkbat, she has the measure of her newaza as well. So she has good level of newaza, but she's not somebody that attacks with it like Munkbat does. But
it's a real weapon for her, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, she's got good defense to it.
Galbadrak in the white judogi, Batamir in blue. I dare say that Galbadrak has been on with Batamir on a few occasions.
Well, I'm sure they have. Like I say, it's a pretty junior team. A lot of the juniors, the 3s and 4s, are the juniors coming in there. And we just saw as well, in the under 60 kilograms, a young cadet, third in the cadet world championships as well. And he's up there with the seniors. Sometimes that happens. They're sometimes allowed, depending on the coaches, actually, whether they're allowed to come in with the seniors. But good system they've got. They really have. 3 million people, and they're producing so much depth in each of the weight categories.
I think it was, I was waiting for a car to come to the airport, come to the venue this morning, and one of the hotel staff was a judo fanatic, and he was saying that when he watched previous Olympic Games, there was one person carrying the flag and like 5 or 6 Mongolians. That was it. Now there's this whole group, and a lot of them are from judo. They're going to have a big group.
Well, they will.
48, 52, 57, 63, 70 and 78. I don't think they've got a plus 78. And they've got 60, 66, 73, 81, 90 and under 100. It's just the heavyweights they're missing, the two heavyweights.
Big team.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is they've got real medal chances. They really have got medal chances. I think the best one for the men is Davador.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Sumigashi there. Left Sumigashi by Galbadrak. Just a quick change of direction there as soon as she went over the back with the arm. I think you're right. You can almost tell, can't you? As soon as they kind of face up to each other, they're used to training together, these two.
Galbadrak was so clever this morning when she fought Miyazaki. Miyazaki is a strong right-sided player, and she didn't let her get us a look at that area at all. It was all on one side, and Miyazaki couldn't work it out.
No, that's what they do when they close you down.
Yeah.
And of course the left is a lot more able to do that than the right-handers.
Galbadrak leads by a single yuko. Minute and 20 odd left to go. Batamir with a chance of an all-Mongolian final if she can get past Galbadrak, but the odds are against it.
I think it is going to be an all-Mongolian final. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
In theory, yeah.
Well, left to left, this situation. This is Batamir is also left-handed, Galbadrak, though, just managing to control 1 minute to go. This semi-final. Every time she comes forward with that right hand, Batamer just gets the arm controlled, her own arm controlled by Galbadrak. Galbadrak pulls it in, ready for the Sumigaeshi.
Yeah, it's not as though the move to Kazakhstan has levelled out her improvement. In fact, moving over to Kazakhstan, she continued on that I suppose, curve, if you like, an upward climb.
Yeah, she's really climbed as well, hasn't she? She's really established it. I thought that was another Yuko, actually. She just did another Sumigaeshi. I wonder whether the referee will have that changed or not. It hasn't. Well ahead, 23 seconds left.
Coach just being asked to coach only during the mate. That's the Mongolian coach. Tries to go over on that side again.
Well, good change of direction from the Uchimata. Uchimata first, change of direction for the Sumigaeshi. 7 seconds to go and she was still attacking. A lot of the fighters go into defensive mode, but not Galbadrak. So Galbadrak through, then it's the final that we wanted, Sheldon. We've got Monk Bat, and she's going to be fighting Galbadrak in the final.
Mark Pickering, the IGF media manager, spoke about that this morning. He said he was going to save himself the trouble of waiting to see what happened, and he'd just write the story now about them. This morning.
That is the kiss of death, isn't it? When you do it, but not for Mark.
No, he's come up trumps. I said you have to look out for Miyazaki. He said, no, it's not going to happen.
I asked him earlier. I said, are you listening to music? He said, no, I'm listening to Sheldon.
He's got a commentary on it. It's going to arrive soon because he's got a 10-second delay, and he's going to be all embarrassed. So, Galbadrak, Neil just said, we'll see her in the final. What have we got coming up next then? Let's see what the most attractive semi-final is. Maybe Dovdan Altansuk, Ganbatar and Nasan Jagor. Those are two 66 on that one and 60 here. Well, anyway, we've got a repechage contest to watch. So we'll have a look at Maxim Bernashev of Russia. He faces Davud Mamadzoy of Azerbaijan. It's Bernashev in the white judogi, Mamadzoy in blue. This is in the under 60 kilo category. Was it that Bernashev lost out to Ganbatar?
Yeah, a couple of new Russians, one at 66 and one at 60 kilos here. So starting to put youngsters out again, the Russians. Well, certainly we haven't seen them anyway, but
I think there may be. I suppose you'd have to ask. That's Yuko.
Yeah, nice Ashi was of that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Diashi, just on the way out, he was.
But you'd have to ask the coaches, where they came from, because it's possible that they just said, okay, we're going to send the top fighters from this region. So close. Just send that region. I'm not sure whether
well, such big countries, aren't they? Ejio Gamba really has his work cut out when it comes to selections, hasn't he? When you think about it,
he's got to trust the staff lower down in the regions to send him the right material, because the prospect of trawling the whole country, going from end to end in search of talent is vast. So
well, he had a lot of people fighting him in the early stages. I know that a lot of the coaches weren't happy with the changes,
and yet the ones that he's got around him now appear to have settled and accepted completely the setup and the way that setup is working, not least of all because they give every appearance of being able to get on with their jobs.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I think he has their trust, which is a good thing.
I think one of the things that the coach wants to do is to stay close to the fighter, and that means working with them, behind the scenes. And then when they walk out, they're in the chair with them. They've got that close relationship, and Edja doesn't get in the way of that.
Yeah, well, I think he's moulding his coaching staff, or he has done over the last 4 years. That's for sure. Well, the other Russian is on the other mat, Galoyan.
Yeah, he's had a struggle this morning, to be honest. It's the second time he's been off the mat for treatment. He's got a nosebleed that has taken him off for a second time. That doesn't look as though it's going to stop in a hurry.
Well, Bernashev got his work cut out here. Mamadzoi, sorry. You go ahead.
There's time on the board, but he hasn't really... Oh,
he
got hold of him there.
Nice.
He was off balance, wasn't he? Bernashev wants to get out of that situation. He wants to avoid that grip. It's too late. It's just that little hook.
Wait, it's credit to the Azzi though, because it was a little bit. We're just saying here that it could have been hugging Ko Soto there, just very, very close to the mark. But it was good opportune stuff there from the Azzi, and he just fell on top into the Tati Shiho. But it was Ko Soto.
Nice and close, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was the transition was absolutely superb. So
he wanted to be out of there. Bernashev felt that grip coming, and he wanted to be out of there. I think he was okay, because it was the right arm that went round. He looked to get out of it, and then that's when he comes with the second arm. So it wasn't direct. He pressured him with the right arm. He looked to get out, followed him, and then took him down. He was kind of stumbling as well as he tried to avoid that grip. Right, who have we got now? Ganbaatar Batolga of Mongolia faces his teammate Nasanjagul Seod. Ganbaatar in the white judogi, Nasanjagul in blue. This for a place in the final, and the winner of this will face another Mongolian in there. We are going to have an all Mongolia under 60 kilo final face Dashtava and Matushi.
Well, looks young, doesn't he, Nasanjagul? But straight in there, straight in, and straight into the Yuko lead. Drop Sianagi. And these boys definitely training together. They're the same weight. Everybody, all their national squads all train together. Yeah. Saying that, Ganbaatar as well. He knows exactly what he's up against here. Just because we see them out there all the time doesn't mean they're dead certs to win, and he's being controlled here. Nasanjagul, nice Taitoshi stroke Uchimata there on the left. So left against right stance. Looking for the Jujigatami there. Straight in for the attack there. Nasanjagul dominating this. Now there's a situation. Just manages to get the mate there. But that arm was out straight. Well, Ganbaatar has it all to do here. He's got to start to get on the pace. He's just behind the pace. Dropped Sianagi there from Nasanjagul. Ganbaatar got it all to do.
The Mongolians aren't going to take a clean sweep of the medals here. The way that the seeding and the draw worked out means that one of the bronze medal matches is going to be an all-Mongolian affair. Rather unfortunate for them. Last year they took a clean sweep. All 4 medals in the under 60 kilo category went to Mongolians. But this time they were drawn in one of the earlier rounds against each other. So we're going to see one of the Mongolians will face Dagvadorj. Whomsoever loses this semi-final will face Dagvadorj in the bronze medal contest.
Well, like I said, just great to have that amount of depth.
So instead of 4 medals, they're definitely going to take 3, because one of the bronze medal contests is all Mongolia, and it will be an all Mongolia final. So the gold and silver will go to Mongolia. They'll get 3 out of the 4.
And they haven't got everybody in.
No, they've left out Sendocher and Ganbat Bolbata. They're both out.
Former world champion, just leave him out.
Yeah, give him a rest. And the junior world champion, leave him out as well. See, well, just out of your shot, is out of the picture, is Galayan. The Russian has had to go off again.
Well, that's his last chance now, because he won't be able to carry on.
Nose is
if
still
it carries
bleeding
on after this now, it'll be Honsokamaki, and the match will go. It'll go the other way.
Just won't stop.
No, he had a problem in his first contest, didn't he, for that? Nice Taitoshi there. Nashin Jargol has a nice little way in for that Taitoshi. And then he sometimes just rotates that little bit more for the Seoinage. Ulaanbaatar just realising that this match is going away from him. Coming up to the last minute then. 1 minute, 3 seconds left.
I feel a little bit sorry for Gallia and hers. And we're talking about something that you can't see. Just one of the Russian fighters has got a persistent nosebleed, and he's tried to stop it 2 or 3 times now. And just won't stop.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking last week about the amount of Shidos, and it certainly is a big question, isn't it? How do we reduce the amount of Shidos? And just looking at the freestyle wrestling and what they do there for the passivities, they put them on a 30-second clock. So they have a chance of attacking and scoring within that 30 seconds to save themselves getting a penalty.
Well, okay, yeah.
Quite like the idea in a way, you know. It's, I'm thinking, well, maybe that would work. Oh, was Harry given there? Nassim Jargol.
He's sharp.
Yeah, he really is sharp.
He felt that and took advantage of that little slip from Ulaanbaatar and over the Mongolian. So.
And almost takes him there with the Haramakikomi. Like I say, it's combining a nice Taitoshi, Seoinage, Makikomi as well. 30 seconds to go. And it looks like it's going to be Nassim Jargol going through to that final. Just about to say he's got the Tsumageshi as well. That big arm over the top.
Hasn't stopped.
No. Well, I mean, that's exactly my point about the passivity. We need to encourage them in this last minute, especially this last minute, to attack rather than go into defensive mode. And we see so many contests. Look at that.
He's gone again.
It's positive attacks, and he's not just sitting back trying to defend.
You'd think he was trailing.
Yeah, no.
You know, we had 30 seconds to go. Chance for 2-3 attacks, and they both came from Nassim Jargol.
Good attacking stuff there from Nassim Jargol. So Nassim Jargol is going to go through to the final.
We'll face Dashtava Amatufshin. All Mongolia contest, and we were talking about who Dagvadorj would have to face. Well, he's going to be up against Ulaanbaatar Batorga. So that was the semi-final in the under 60 kilo category. We've still got Galayan. He's up against Vugasha Rinli of Azerbaijan. And then we've got Dovdan Altansuk in that semi-final. We may go up there. Let's do him the favour and go and have a look on map number 1 at Galeoan. And our little gadget
doesn't seem to be working.
Doesn't want to help us out. Yeah, but our chief is on the ball, and we're up to see Paliak Galeoan. He's picked up 2 penalties. He loses out to Vugar Shirinli of Azerbaijan. It's a nice gadget when it works.
Well, I was impressed with it, I must admit. Galeoan.
He's not a happy camper, is he?
No, he's not.
I think he thinks that he had a score right at the end. But it's not the case. And I'm going to be a second whilst they tidy up a little bit more. A spot of blood that's dropped on that light. Okay, everything appears to be in working order. Who have we got coming up now that we've left them? Right, it is the semi-final between Dovdan Altansuk of Mongolia, who faces his teammate Batogtog. There you go, Batogtog.
You got it.
I'm not going to go for the given name though. I'm going to have a look at that first before I get that far, because it can't fit on our screen. Oh, it's why is that there? No, that's back there. Beg your pardon, that's the wrong one. It's the 66 that we're looking at. Batogtog Erdenbayer. There you go. Erkenbayer. Dovdan in the white judogi, Batogtog in blue.
Well, it's Dovdan that already qualified for the Olympics and one of the ones that just wanted more matches. What a warm-up. We had some last week as well, didn't we? We had quite a few of the good fighters. There were 2 world's bests, I think, last week, and opting to fight just really because it's either that or choose it, a European Cup or a World Cup, just to get the matches, just to stay busy.
Yeah, Kayla Harrison, I think, falls into that category. You just can't keep her down. You know, she's on edge, and the Americans wanted her to get good matches, and I suspect that one of the reasons for going out there was to
fight Zhu.
Yeah, Joe Abigail is someone that she really wants to look at.
Well, she's lost to her before, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons.
Unfortunately, the draw didn't allow for it.
It never happened.
The draw and results didn't allow for it.
Here we go then. Dovdan in white. Batogtog in blue. Well, we knew it was going to be a lot of Mongolians fighting each other. It was virtually Mongolian nationals, but the interesting thing is that when you see this, especially in Mongolia, all of them still having a go at each other. They go all out because the competition is so tough to get outside of Mongolia for other competitions. I mean, this is their time to showboat it, really. Shido straight away there. Batogtog has it all to do. Quite tall, actually, for 66. Well, they're looking as well for the arm underneath the armpit. A lot of almost all of them favour that particular grip. A lot of the reasons behind that is the form of wrestling, of course, that they practice with shorter sleeves on the jackets. Virtually no sleeves, actually. So it makes them grip slightly differently, unorthodox, over the top of the shoulder, underneath the shoulder as well. And that's why they look for the Kosotos, the big, massive, hugging Kosotos. Oh, he's got it out, has he? Almost got the leg out there for the Osai Komi.
And then Batoktok just managed to turn onto his front. He's going to pick up a second penalty now. 2 penalties picked up. A little over 3 minutes left to go.
The other semi-final and the other match in Togtok against Sikic of Croatia. And the Mongolian was area ahead there.
Sikic just fought well today. She's just been caught that once by Togtok, but she's had two good contests. And now maybe she's hit that wall.
Yeah, I haven't seen her before, I have to say. So just over halfway in this semi-final match, Dovdon just holding off. Looking for the drop Sianagi. He'll have to get rotation on the drop Sianagi. He can't just drop underneath. Otherwise, he's going to get penalised for it. Togtok. He's the one that's got to pick up the pace. Looking for the Kosoto. Wow, it doesn't even look as if he's going to try and get that leg out there. Don't think he wants to go to ground with Dovdon. So now they're both set up for the Kosoto and the sacrifice techniques. Dovdon just dominating the whole match. Third penalty there goes to Batoktok.
The winner of 2 from Mongolia, Chinggis Azaya, will be in the final for women under 52 kg. The 22 is repechage contest for men under 66 kg. In white for Kazakhstan, Ashkar Telmanov. In blue for Russia, Dmitry Karpov.
Tries to drop Sianagi, gets taken down. Is this going to be it? Could be. Osai Komi. Well, I definitely think Dovdon will try and get that leg out. So obviously the superior on the ground, and you could almost tell there by the body language Batoktok didn't want to know down there with Dovdon. Dovdon does. It just manages to turn out 3 Shidos on the board, sorry. 37 seconds left. Well, they're kind of nullifying each other's techniques, these two. Know each other very well. Dovdon just the livelier, just hitting the attack when he should hit the attack. A little bit fortunate, I think, not to get a Shido for just flopping and dropping. So as we suspected, Sheldon, they're just too strong for him really, but I think they knew who was going to come out the winner. Dovdon Altansuk is the winner. He goes through to the final.
They've all been pretty close, the Mongolian contest. No one's come out here and taken a spanking. They've all gone right to the wire.
The winner of match 1 for Mongolia, will be in the final for men under 66.
We've got one more semi-final to come on mat number 1. Before that, we've got Sofia Chistanova of Russia to face Man Da Riwa of China, or we can see Ashkat Telmanov up against Dmitry Kapukin of Russia. How much is left down there? Let's go down to mat number 2. We'll take a look at the contest between Ashkat Telmanov in the white judogi from Kazakhstan. He faces Dmitry Kapukin of Russia. Neil's going to have a look at the scoreboard and tell you the state of the contest.
Well, Telmanov just ahead here. 1 Yuko on the board. Kapukin has to pick up the pace. Almost 2 minutes gone. So repechage means that they have to fight this particular match to earn the right to fight for third place. They'll fight one of the losing semi-finalists from the opposite side of their draw. But you can only fight in a repechage fight if you got to the quarterfinals, so that's what double repechage is. Quarterfinalists, and then the losing semi-finalists come down. They don't have to do a final repechage match. Koichi there from Kapukin. But just been dominated here. No real hard transition for Newaza. Nobody really trying for it. Well, all up to Kapukin, really. He's got to really take the fight to Telmanov. Left Taitoshi almost scores there from Telmanov. That's going to score. Beautiful ippon there. Uchimata, and he was just on the way up, Kapukin, trying to stand up, but forgot all about the good kumakata from Telmanov. So Telmanov is the one that's going to be fighting for third place. A little bit of lack of experience there from the young Russian.
That's number 2, the winner in white for Kazakhstan, Ashkat Telmanov.
Left Uchimata was what decided it. Just hooked in. He was hooked in and ready to go, but did it on the way up.
Coming up now, Andras Yereb of Slovenia faces Adia Batsuri of Mongolia. It'll be Yereb in the white judogi, Adia in blue. And what a week the Slovenians had. Had a real go of it in Budapest last week, didn't they?
Yeah,
they enjoyed themselves.
Well, I mean, they've just come off the back, haven't they, of a really hard camp. And you can tell, you know, that they're hard, they're fit. Might not be as sharp as they could be, but they, like you said, well there in the medals. Every one of them was contesting. Just over a minute gone here, this semi-final. Andras Yereb just managing to kill all of the drop Yoko Satemiwaza there from Adia.
See, Adia's going to be psychologically in a bit of a bind now. He's gone there on a couple of occasions, hasn't come up with something. The next time he goes there, it's going to be a penalty. So it's probably in the back of his mind that this is not working. I've got to change tack, and he does there. Jereb gives him the opportunity to come up with something that he hadn't looked at before, and now he's got a nice strong lead. What was Jereb doing there? I mean,
well, it was just a poor technique, wasn't it? And
easy.
And again, it was just on the way up as well. It just wasn't quite. It didn't kill it dead. One of the problems with trying to ride techniques, you can't do it. Now he's got it all to do, Jereb. Mountain to climb. And he's just suddenly up the pace. Uchimata! Oh, and it's got to be a good Yuko. Well, I thought that was a really good Yuko, if not a Wazari. And the referee has just hesitated for a second. She wants it looked at. I don't know whether she wanted to give it Ippon. It definitely is an Ippon. So a Yuko scored. It was a lovely Uchimata. So now he's back in the game. It needs one more of those. A little bit of more control of the sleeve and lapel. Saying that, Adia there, nice Ashiwaza and directly into the Newaza. Some good judo here. Well, Jereb has to go forwards. There's the Uchimata again. Really good commitment for the Uchimata. Didn't quite have the control of the upper part of the body. Going to go for it again as well. Sheldon, he's looking for the Uchimata all the time. He wants that left leg of his opponent back and then just find the line in. It's funny, I just posted an Uchimata film,
done
actually.
Him again.
Yeah, well, he's just been taken back. That's Wazari Wazetti, isn't it?
She's given Yuko.
I think they might change that.
Saved him at the moment, but I think there was enough there, to give Wazari. He's dodged that bullet then. So 2 scores from Adia. And another Yuko from Jereb. There's a minute and a half left to go. Well, Jereb could do this.
I was saying earlier that he keeps looking for the line for the Uchimata, and if he catches the right line, and I just put a video up actually on my Facebook about finding the line for Uchimata, and Jereb is certainly, when it comes to an Ippon technique, he's the closest one. If he'd have had a bit more control, he would have had definitely one of those Yukos would have been an Ippon. But it's not over yet.
No, and what I like about Jereb is that he hasn't demonstrated any kind of panic.
No, he's going forward all the time. He's going for this.
Ooh.
Sodi Sorokamigoshi this time.
But my only fear for Jereb is the possibility of him being countered.
Always the danger, isn't it? I mean, you get people standing toe to toe.
Come on.
From a boxing perspective, even, toe to toe, somebody's going to get knocked out. It's same with judo. If they're going for the Ippon, somebody's going to go. But that's exactly what we want to see. Looking for the shimiwaza this time. Jereb. Best to stand up, I think. That's where his chances are. This is one of those kind of contests where you just don't know that he's not going to score big in the last seconds, because he's really coming forwards here. Adia has gone into defensive mode.
Yeah, he's back.
Here's the Uchimata now.
Odd seconds left to go. He hasn't quite taken enough out of Adia Adir still looks to me as though he's got 30 seconds left in the tank. You know, he's not flat out. He picks up a Shido here for passivity, but do you know what I mean? He can't steamroller him, can he?
Oh, look at that. That's it, all over. You were right, he did have more in the tank
He
there.
still had some left.
Takes him over, but it was always something was going to happen, wasn't it? They were both opening up, and in the end, left Uchimata from Adir. And he didn't exactly have the line of attack. It's more of a rotational Uchimata. Look at that. Looks like a cricket score.
It does, yeah. Be unlucky for some. Lit the board up, didn't he? The Nelson. It's always unlucky for someone when you see that.
Good match, though.
Yeah, enjoyed that. There's a lot to look at there.
There's the Uchimata there.
It's that last step that he takes that just gives him the shape. There, he just slides. He just slides there, and he's open for it.
Well, there's a lot of Tewaza there. Look at the hands. Look how he controls with the hands. Literally just places him onto his back. Well, Jereb didn't have anywhere to go there, did he? He really didn't. Uchimata starts with the leg on the outside, didn't make any difference, gets the rotation.
Repechage contest. We're going to have to we're going to stick here because all the judo's finished on mat number 1. Kim Min-ju has just lost out in the under 57 kilo category semi-final. We're going to see who her opponent will be in the upcoming contest. So I'm not going to talk too much about Kim having lost. She's gone into the repechage contest. Let's have a look at Purevsa in the white judogi and Seragabata they're both from Mongolia. Purevsa in white and Seragabata in blue.
So again, one of them going to be fighting for third place here. Well, Ulaanbaatar, where we are at the moment, is of course the capital of Mongolia. 1.2 million people in Ulaanbaatar, and only 3 million people in the whole of Mongolia. And that's how they're able to select not only a team, but a really competitive team with depth in almost every one of the weight categories. So it goes to show that I think it's a special mentality as well with the Mongolian mentality. It's a fighting mentality. I asked one of them what their national sport was, one of the journalists, and he said it was the wrestling was the national sport. Judo was derived from the wrestling, but of course judo now absolutely huge in Mongolia.
Yeah, Tushinbayev, I suppose, can claim to have had a good deal to do with that, having taken their first Olympic gold medal, but I wouldn't leave out Hashbatar Saganbata, who is a legend, having taken a bronze medal at the under 60 kilo category, gold in the under 66 kilo category, and the Paris Grand Slam gold medal at under 73. He went through the weights, and he was a competitor at the very highest level in each one of those weights.
Yeah, well, he was an amazing athlete, wasn't he?
He's even got a bronze medal at the Continental Union Championships at under 81 when he fought in the team event.
That's quite a jump, isn't it, from 60 kilograms?
60 to 81, and you still walk away with a European team bronze medal.
It's
Incredible.
amazing, yeah.
I mean, he may have been smashed, for all I know. He may have fought there just because he was
he definitely
over
looked
73
a little bit
kilos.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he put on a bit, and now he's lost some more weight.
Has he?
He just got a bit dumpy, you know, and then he started taking care of himself. He, I think he stood for Parliament, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, the elections yesterday. He and Tufchinbaya, they got blown out, right? Oh. Yeah, they got blown out.
So Pure of Seren just down here. Into the last minute, 2 Shidos down. And now she goes Wazari down as well, and it's all over, I think.
Yeah, offside Komi.
Bata just into the Kazure Kamishiho Gatami, and doesn't get much more basic than that, but does the job. Just needed to hold 15 seconds, then Wazari Awazeti upon 2 Wazaris. Finish the contest out.
Well, we've got one more contest to bring you. Serek Bata winning out there. She'll fight for the bronze medals. The bronze medal against Kim Min-ju.
And now the last semi-final of the day is semi-final for women under 57 kilograms. Please welcome in white for Japan, Ishikawa Megumi, and in blue for Slovenia, Andrea Leszki.
Right, we've got the second of the semi-finals coming up now in the under 57 kilo category. Ishikawa Megumi of Japan face Andrea Leszki of Slovenia. It's Ishikawa in the white judogi, Leszki in blue, and there's Ishikawa in her favourite spot.
That's going to be it.
In Newaza.
Well, you know, it's not very often you don't see that leg coming out now. They'll do anything to get it out. The leg comes out, readjustment of balance then, and it's game over. So great bit of Newaza. It's well rehearsed, and they do it time and time again. It's not just her. It's all the way through the Japanese team. And especially with the ladies, when it comes to a leg trapped, they seem to have the suppleness in the hips and the body movement in order to get that leg out. So just...
I'm glad that we've seen that, because we were talking about Ishikawa's strength in Newaza and just saying that there was a real disparity in her ability to win in Newaza as opposed to struggle. She does struggle standing up, and there's a real illustration of that. Leszki, no chance to even get into it, and Ishikawa moving smoothly into the final of the under 57 kilo category. We're going to be back after a break. Before that, let's take a quick look at, if I've done this right, this will be interesting now. Right, the final of the under 48 kilo category. Spoke about it, didn't we? Munkbata and Galbadrak.
I'm going to go for Galbadrak, because I think Galbadrak at the moment has a psychological edge over Munkbat. But I mean, that's a difficult one, isn't it? It's I'm just only simply because I don't want to sit on the fence there. I'm just going to go for it.
The force is with Galbadrak. I'm not going to ask Neil to pick out a winner for everyone. We'll just call them out anyway. But I thought that would be a nice one. Munkbat and Galbadrak in the under 48 kilo category. Uchiyo Mako of Japan faces Chintoptog Azaya of Mongolia in the under 52 kilo category. The 57 kilo category, we just saw Ishikawa Megumi of Japan winning out there. She's up against Lagvatokgu Erkelin of Mongolia, and then in the 60s is Dashtava Amatufshin up against Nansaja Golser-Od 66 kilo category, Dovdon Alton Suk against teammate Adia Bat Suri. So there's your lineup. We'll be back at 5 o'clock. It's 25 after 3 here, so about an hour and a half. Neil and I are going to grab some lunch.
Absolutely.
I suppose.
Good idea.
We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
See you then.